In a faraway galaxy, a powerful alien soldier named Zalthor received a new mission. He was known for his strength and skill in battle. His people had faced many threats, but none had been as curious as the humans of Earth. They were small, weak, and often laughed at by the other alien races. Zalthor thought they would be an easy target. As Zalthor prepared for his mission, he looked at the map of the galaxy. His commander pointed to Earth, a small blue planet that floated among the stars. "This human is a danger to us. You must eliminate him before he can cause any harm." Zalthor felt excitement. He was ready to show his power. With a quick leap, Zalthor activated his spacecraft. The ship whirred to life and shot off into the darkness of space. Stars zoomed by as he traveled at incredible speed. Soon, the blue planet came into view. He could see the clouds and oceans below. It looked beautiful, but Zalthor was not here to admire the view. As he landed in a remote area, Zalthor stepped out of his ship. The air felt different here. It was fresh and cool. He scanned the surroundings with his advanced technology, looking for the human soldier. His sensors pointed him toward a nearby training camp. "This must be where he is," Zalthor thought with a smirk. He made his way toward the camp, moving silently through the trees. The sounds of laughter and shouting grew louder as he approached. Soon he reached the edge of the camp and saw a group of humans training. They were running, jumping, and working together. One soldier stood out among the rest. He was taller and seemed to lead the group. Zalthor's sensors confirmed that this was Sergeant Alex Carter. Zalthor felt a rush of confidence. "This will be easy," he whispered to himself. He watched as Alex shouted orders, motivating his fellow soldiers. They all seemed to respect him. Zalthor could see the determination in Alex's eyes. But to Zalthor, this was just a show. He believed humans were weak and would fall easily under his power. With a swift movement, Zalthor activated his cloaking device and blended into the shadows. He was ready to strike. He aimed his weapon at Alex, preparing to take him out with one quick shot. But just as he was about to pull the trigger, he paused. Something about Alex caught his attention. Alex turned and faced the direction of Zalthor's hiding spot. For a brief moment, their eyes met. Zalthor felt a strange feeling in his chest, a mix of curiosity and respect. "This human is not afraid," he thought. "He looks ready for anything." But Zalthor shook his head, dismissing the thought. There was no time for weakness. He had a mission to complete. Suddenly, Alex shouted, "Let's take a break! Everyone, gather around!" The soldiers stopped and huddled together, listening to their leader. Zalthor used this opportunity to move closer, still hidden in the shadows. He listened as Alex spoke about courage, teamwork, and the importance of never giving up. Zalthor frowned. These humans were not just training. They were learning to fight together. This made him even more determined to finish his mission. "I will show them who is stronger," he thought. "They will learn that humans are nothing compared to me." As the soldiers resumed training, Zalthor prepared to attack. He aimed his weapon at Alex once more. This will be a quick victory, he thought, feeling confident. But deep down, he sensed that this battle would be different. Humans were known for their unpredictability, and Zalthor had never faced a challenge like this before. With one last look at the group, he decided it was time. Zalthor stepped out of the shadows, ready to unleash his power. The humans would soon learn that he was not an enemy to be taken lightly. The battle was about to begin, and neither Zalthor nor Alex had any idea just how far it would push them both. As the sun rose higher in the sky, the training camp buzzed with energy. The soldiers were focused, ready to push their limits under the watchful eye of Sergeant Alex Carter. Zalthor, still hidden in the shadows, watched with keen interest. He could see Alex leading his team, inspiring them with words of encouragement. The alien soldier felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. "This will be the day I show them who is in charge," Zalthor thought, tightening his grip on his weapon. He knew he had to act quickly. Suddenly, the atmosphere changed. The soldiers began their next training exercise, running in different directions, practicing teamwork and strategy. Alex shouted, "Remember, stay alert and work together." Zalthor took a deep breath and prepared for his attack. He had been in many battles, but something about this felt different. With a swift motion, Zalthor stepped into the open, revealing himself to the group. The humans stopped and stared in shock. Alex's eyes widened as he recognized the alien soldier from his briefings. "Get ready!" he shouted, raising his voice above the confusion. Zalthor wasted no time. He aimed his weapon at Alex and fired. The shot rang out, echoing in the quiet training ground. But Alex was ready. He rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the blast. The other soldiers quickly reacted, moving into defensive positions. Zalthor was taken aback by their speed. They were not as weak as he had thought. "Stay together!" Alex yelled, rallying his troops. The soldiers formed a protective line in front of their leader, ready to face the threat. Zalthor felt a surge of anger. He had expected to catch them off guard, but now they were prepared. He fired again, this time aiming at the group. The humans ducked and dodged, showing surprising agility. Zalthor was impressed, but he was not about to back down. He charged forward, using his advanced alien technology to create a wave of energy. The ground shook as the blast hit the training area, sending dirt and debris flying. Alex and his team struggled to regain their footing. "Keep fighting!" Alex shouted, determination shining in his eyes. They regrouped and charged at Zalthor, ready to defend their home. The alien soldier felt a thrill of excitement as the humans came at him. He had never faced such bravery. As the battle began, Zalthor fought fiercely. He used his strength and skills, but the humans fought back with all their might. Alex led his team with confidence, directing them to flank Zalthor from different sides. The alien soldier was surrounded, and for the first time he felt uncertain. Zalthor focused on Alex, wanting to take him down first. He swung his weapon, but Alex dodged and countered with a powerful kick. The blow surprised Zalthor, and he stumbled back. "This human is strong," he thought, frustration building inside him. The fight raged on, with Zalthor and the humans clashing fiercely. Zalthor's energy blasts lit up the sky, while Alex and his team used their training to outmaneuver the alien soldier. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for each other. As the battle continued, Zalthor noticed that Alex was not giving up. Even when faced with danger, he kept pushing forward. Each time Zalthor tried to land a blow, Alex and his friends found a way to escape. The alien soldier was impressed, but also angered. He had come to show his power, but instead, he was being challenged in ways he had never expected. Finally, with a burst of determination, Alex charged straight at Zalthor, shouting, "We are not afraid of you!" The alien soldier braced himself, ready for the final confrontation. Zalthor realized that these humans were different. They were not going down without a fight. With the battle reaching its peak, Zalthor began to feel something he had never felt before, a deep respect for his opponents. As he prepared to unleash his full power, he knew this fight would change everything. The humans would prove to be more than just targets, they were warriors. The stage was set for a clash of wills, and neither Zalthor nor Alex would back down. The battle was far from over, and both sides were ready to fight to the end. The battle raged on as dust and smoke filled the air. Zalthor, the alien soldier, fought with all his might. He had faced many enemies, but these humans were proving to be a real challenge. As he pushed forward, he saw Alex leading his team with fierce determination. Zalthor was impressed, but also frustrated. How could these humans be so strong? Zalthor unleashed another blast from his weapon, and it struck one of the soldiers. The man went down, clutching his side. Alex's heart sank, but he quickly called out, "Stay focused! We can't give up!" The remaining soldiers rallied around their leader, ready to continue the fight. They had trained hard for this moment, and they refused to let Zalthor win. As the fight continued, Zalthor felt a wave of exhaustion wash over him. He had underestimated the humans and their fighting spirit. He had expected to defeat them quickly, but now he was on the defensive. Alex moved with precision, dodging Zalthor's attacks while striking back when he could. Each hit from Alex felt like a wake-up call for the alien soldier. Zalthor fired again, but this time, Alex was ready. He dodged the blast and closed the distance between them. In one swift motion, Alex delivered a powerful punch to Zalthor's jaw. The alien soldier staggered back, surprised by the strength of the human. Pain shot through him, and for a moment he hesitated. "Is this what defeat feels like?" Zalthor thought, struggling to regain his balance. The humans were relentless, pushing him further back. He had always been the one to bring fear to others, yet here he was, feeling fear for the first time. Seeing Zalthor falter, the human soldiers found new energy. "We can win this!" one of them shouted, echoing Alex's words. They moved in together, working as a team. They attacked from all sides, using their training to overwhelm the alien. Zalthor's heart raced as he realized he was losing ground. In the chaos of battle, Zalthor found himself cornered. He fired his weapon in panic, but it only grazed the side of a building, causing it to crumble. The humans did not back away. Instead, they pressed closer, their determination stronger than ever. Zalthor's breathing became heavy as he realized that he was not just fighting for victory, he was fighting for survival. Just when it seemed like the humans would win, Zalthor summoned all his strength. He unleashed a powerful energy wave, hoping to push them back. The blast sent several soldiers flying, and the ground shook beneath them. For a moment, Zalthor felt a glimmer of hope, but Alex quickly recovered, standing tall despite the chaos around him. "Get back up!" Alex yelled to his team, urgency in his voice. The soldiers rallied, helping each other to their feet. Zalthor watched in disbelief. No matter how many times he tried to knock them down, they kept rising. This made him feel something he had never experienced before: admiration. With renewed energy, Alex charged back at Zalthor. The alien soldier braced himself for the attack, but Alex was faster than he expected. In a daring move, Alex tackled Zalthor to the ground. The two rolled in the dirt, each struggling for control. Zalthor could feel the strength of the human pressing down on him. "Why won't you stay down?" Zalthor shouted, frustration clear in his voice. Alex looked into Zalthor's eyes and replied, "Because we refuse to give up! We fight for each other!" In that moment, something changed in Zalthor. He had come to Earth with the intent to destroy, but now he found himself questioning everything he knew. These humans were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for their friends, their families, and their planet. Finally, after a fierce struggle, Alex managed to pin Zalthor's arms to the ground. The alien soldier's heart raced as he stared at his opponent. For the first time, he understood the power of unity and determination. The humans were not weak. They were unbreakable. With the weight of Alex on him, Zalthor felt a new respect for the humans. He was losing, and deep down, he knew it. But rather than giving in to despair, he found a new strength within himself. He realized that this battle was not just about winning or losing. It was about understanding and respect. As the dust settled and the battle came to a pause, Zalthor looked at Alex with a newfound respect. "Maybe there is more to these humans than I thought," he whispered to himself. The fight was not over, but the alien soldier felt a change within him. The dust settled slowly as the sounds of battle faded. Zalthor lay on the ground, pinned by Alex, his alien body trembling with exhaustion. For the first time, he felt something other than anger. He felt confusion. Why did these humans keep fighting? Why didn't they just give up? Alex stared down at Zalthor, breathing heavily. He could see the uncertainty in the alien soldier's eyes. "You're stronger than I thought," Alex said, trying to catch his breath. "But you don't have to fight us. We can talk." Zalthor blinked, still processing the fight. He had always been told that humans were weak, but they were proving him wrong at every turn. He had come to conquer, to show the galaxy that he was the best warrior. Yet here he was, pinned down by one human. "Talk?" he asked, his voice laced with doubt. "What could we possibly have to say?" "We can share our stories," Alex replied, lifting his weight slightly, allowing Zalthor a moment to breathe. "You don't know us, but you think you do. You came here ready to fight, but maybe you should know why we fight." Zalthor thought about this. He had heard many things about Earth and its people. Most of it had been filled with fear and contempt. "What makes you think I care about your stories?" he shot back, struggling to regain control. "Because," Alex said softly, "there is more to us than you see. We are not just soldiers, we are families, friends, and dreamers. We fight to protect what we love, and we will do whatever it takes." Zalthor's heart began to race. He had not expected such a response. "You humans are strange," he muttered, but the words held less sting than before. He thought of his own home, of the battles he had fought. What had he fought for? Was it truly for honor and glory, or was there more? "What about you?" Alex asked, sensing the shift in Zalthor's demeanor. "Why are you really here?" The alien soldier hesitated, searching for the right words. "I was trained to fight, to be the best, to conquer," he admitted slowly. "But it is empty. I feel nothing." Alex's expression softened. "That's because you're fighting the wrong battle. Maybe you need to find a reason worth fighting for." He let those words linger in the air. Zalthor stared at Alex, feeling a strange connection growing between them. "What if I don't want to be your enemy?" he asked quietly, the weight of his own identity pressing down on him. "What if I want to change?" Alex's eyes widened with surprise. "Then you should! It's never too late to choose a different path. You can learn from us, and we can learn from you." For the first time, Zalthor felt hope stirring inside him. He had always thought of humans as beneath him, as weak beings. But now he saw their strength and vulnerability. It was an unusual feeling, but it felt right. "I want to understand," he said. "I want to learn what it means to protect instead of destroy." Just then, the remaining soldiers approached, still on high alert. They had witnessed the fight, and now they were unsure about the alien soldier. Zalthor could see the tension in their faces. "Don't be afraid," Alex called out, raising his hands in peace. "He is not our enemy anymore. He wants to learn." The soldiers exchanged confused glances, unsure if they could trust Zalthor. The alien soldier stood up slowly, not wanting to appear threatening. "I promise I will not harm you," he said, his voice steady. "I want to change." The humans looked at one another, contemplating Alex's words. Finally, one soldier stepped forward. "If you really want to learn, you must understand what it means to be human. You need to see our world." Zalthor nodded eagerly. "I am ready. Show me." With that simple statement, a new chapter began for both Zalthor and the humans. They had been enemies, but now they stood on the edge of something greater. The battle had changed them, but it was only the beginning of a new alliance. As they walked away from the battlefield together, Zalthor couldn't help but feel a sense of belonging he had never known before. He realized that strength wasn't just about power. It was about connection, understanding, and love. For the first time, he felt hope for a future where humans and aliens could stand together, not as enemies, but as allies. Days turned into weeks as Zalthor spent time with Alex and his team. The alien soldier, once a fierce warrior, was now learning what it meant to be part of a community. He watched the humans, listened to their stories, and even shared some of his own. Slowly, he began to understand the true meaning of strength. Alex introduced Zalthor to his friends and family. They welcomed him with open arms, despite their initial fear. Zalthor learned about human values, love, sacrifice, and friendship. He began to see that these were the true powers of humanity, far more significant than any weapon. One day, as they sat around a campfire under the stars, Zalthor spoke up. "I have fought many battles in my life, but none of them mattered like this," he said, gazing into the flames. "I have always thought strength was about defeating others, but now I see that it is about standing together." Alex nodded, proud of the progress his alien friend had made. "You're right, Zalthor. Strength comes from unity. Together, we can achieve so much more than we ever could alone." Zalthor smiled, feeling a warmth inside him. For the first time, he felt at home. But there was still one challenge left to face. Word had spread back to Zalthor's home planet about his unexpected alliance with humans. His superiors would not be pleased. "Are you worried about your people?" Alex asked, noticing the change in Zalthor's expression. "Yes," Zalthor replied, his voice filled with concern. "They will not accept me. They see humans as weak and inferior. I have always been a warrior, but now I am different." Alex placed a hand on Zalthor's shoulder. "You've changed, and that's a good thing. But you need to show your people that change is possible. You can tell them about what you've learned here. It could open their eyes." With a heavy heart, Zalthor nodded. He knew he had to return and face his past, but he also felt a new sense of purpose. He wanted to share the truth about humans and the bond they had formed. Finally, the day came for Zalthor to leave. The humans gathered to say their goodbyes. They had grown to care for him, and he for them. "You will always be part of our family," Alex said, his voice steady. "Go and show them what you've learned." As Zalthor boarded his ship, he looked back at his friends, feeling a mix of sadness and hope. He was stepping into the unknown, but he carried their strength with him. The journey home was filled with anticipation. He wondered how his people would react to the changes he had embraced. When Zalthor arrived on his planet, he was met with confusion and anger. His fellow soldiers could not believe he had returned without a victory. "You lost to humans!" one shouted, pointing a finger at him. "You are weak now!" Zalthor stepped forward, raising his voice above the crowd. "No! I am not weak. I have learned what true strength is. Humans are not our enemies. They fight for their loved ones just like we do. We can learn from them." The crowd fell silent, surprised by Zalthor's words. "You fought against them," another soldier said, frowning. "Why should we listen to you?" "Because I have seen their hearts," Zalthor replied, his voice filled with passion. "They are brave and strong in ways we do not understand. We can choose to fight against each other, or we can work together to build a better future." I chose to stand with them. I chose peace. A murmur spread through the crowd as Zalthor's words sank in. Some soldiers looked at each other, uncertain. Others began to nod, considering the possibility. Finally, an elder stepped forward. "If what you say is true, then we must hear more," she said. "Show us what you learned. Teach us to understand." Zalthor's heart raced with hope. He had taken the first step towards change. "I will bring humans here to show you," he declared. "Together we can build a new future." As the crowd began to disperse, Zalthor felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had faced his past and chosen a new path. He was no longer just an alien soldier, he was a bridge between two worlds. Back on Earth, Alex and the team prepared for a new mission. They would join Zalthor to help bridge the gap between their peoples. Together they would face the unknown, united in purpose. In the end, Zalthor realized that strength lies not in victory, but in understanding and unity. He had risen from defeat to find a new purpose, and he would fight for a future where humans and aliens could stand together as allies.